Well, good morning. I was hoping Bob Batcher was going to stop by with a cup of coffee or something, but he wasn't. So, thank you, darling, for bringing me. My wife brought me some coffee instead. I always said that was. I was told Bob. I said that's the big thing about playing for Prime Plus, is that you get the free coffee. So, um, but since I'm heckling Bob, let me just say something really good about Bob. Um, I think a lot of us in the midst of this whole pandemic have been looking backwards, kind of thinking about when we can get back to the old days and the way things were. And I think what Bob has been doing, innovative guy that he is looking not backwards but forwards. How can we move forwards? How can we move into a new reality? Instead of trying to recreate the old one, which is kind of a classic historic mistake, isn't it? Always looking back. So Bob's a forward-looking guy, and I don't know if this is going to be just a stepping stone or if we're landing, but what we're trying to do is some music and recreate that Prime Plus experience. On Thursday mornings, pretty much every Thursday morning, since it's inside, it's rain or shine, we have breakfast at Prime Plus. And all the good folks come and get their breakfast, and we have kind of a coffee bar. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a highlight of my life to be able to play there on Thursday mornings and meet people, come up and talk. I don't know that we can make this as interactive as that for today anyway. But if you're watching and you've got any suggestions, we'll probably do this again soon. So if you've got some suggestions and you want to just pass them along in the comments, we'll read them and then we can make a new playlist for next time. So for today, I picked some stuff. And this would be just normally stuff I would play on the piano while people were eating breakfast, having coffee, and just all that good social networking that Prime Plus brings with it. wonderful standard called "A Child Is Born." Sometimes you hear those songs. Sometimes they all sort of blend together. I remember the first time I heard that. It was an album somebody recommended with Billy Taylor and his trio, and that song just jumped off the album and grabbed me. I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful song. Here's a song with a really different feeling to it. Little George Shearing. Lullaby in Birdland. I think probably one of the most iconic performances of that is a great one with George Shearing and Mel Torme that some of you might be familiar with. First time I ever did some work with that, I recorded it with my friends Mike Hawkins and Dave Starkey, who I haven't seen in a while, and probably this should motivate me to reach out and get back in touch. But the three of us did an album a number of years back, many years back, and this was on there. So I learned a lot about how to play jazz from working with Mike and Dave, and they made a real difference in my playing. This is a song that needs no introduction. Long and winding road. I'm sure a lot of us feel like we're on a long and winding road these days. It's been, about 3 months? I think my last Prime Plus gig was Thursday, the 12th of March. And I remember that because it was just a few days after my birthday, and it was kind of like the last gig. And then the pastor from the church that I serve at said we wouldn't be having services on Sunday, the 15th. And suddenly everything changed. And our lives were different and probably will be different forever. But a beautiful song, and I love the way that the text kind of fits with the music. I mean, it says it's the long and winding road, and if you're into music theory, you can kind of figure that out, how this piece actually is a long and winding road. The chords never land. They never land until the word door, lead me to your door. And that's finally the place where the chords resolve or find their home. Other than that, there's no place. It's really amazing. People wonder, about the brilliance of songwriters like Lennon and McCartney, and it's there. It's there, and you can actually study it. You can understand what it is that makes them so brilliant and why they were so spectacular. All right, let's change it up here. Take a step back in time. kind of different pace from Long and Winding Road as you can get. But that's Dinah, song from the 1920s. The first time I did that was playing in a group that it's interesting. It's called the Hotel Paradise Roof Garden Orchestra. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. It's a local group. Lynn Summerall was the founder and the director. Becky Livis did a lot of singing. My first wife, Virginia, also sang with the group, and we had a lot of fun and a lot of craziness together. It's a large group, but I think the thing that marked it was we were doing jazz music from the 1920s and up to about 1933, I believe, was the cutoff point. So this is pre-swing era, and you hear some of that stride stuff built in, you know. In fact, sometimes that's all the piano part was just boom chick, boom chick, boom chick. So anyway, that was a great experience, and I met some wonderful, wonderful people that have made the decades since that time all the better for the relationships there that were started. Sure, let's change it up again. How about a Latin here? This is a song that gets requested a lot over at Prime Plus by someone in particular. I won't name by name in case she doesn't want me to, but she'll walk over to the piano and she'll say, "You know what I," and I say, "Yeah, I know what you want me to play." So here's the song. Besame mucho. I've seen that translated different ways. You know, kiss me a lot, or kiss me muchly. I'm not sure if that's quite the right way to say it, but sometimes how it's translated. It's another one I did with Dave and Mike in the Swing Shift Trio back in the day, and we had a lot of fun. Oh, and I should, that one, you talk about places that really marked you. She's not always my favorite interpreter of a lot of standards, but Diana Krall's interpretation of that is absolutely, if you haven't heard it, it's just, I think, unbelievable. Maybe the best ever. Listen to Diana Krall sing Besame Mucho. It's the smokiest thing that you'll probably hear today. Yeah, let's do another one. I Can't Get Started With You. That's a fun song. Fun lyrics, too. All right, I think we got time for one more. So let's go back to the early days. Honeysuckle Rose. everybody. Thanks so much. I hope you have a great day.